Yeah. Okay. So, hi everybody. Let's wait for 1 more minute, and we will officially start our Community Connect for this week. All right. It's 10:45 Pacific time. We're going to start on time. So, hello and welcome, especially to our live viewers. If you are joining us live, thank you for joining us. But if you are catching us via the recording of this live session, thank you also for joining, for watching, and joining this conversation. Okay, so for this month, we are trying to do two live activities or live sessions, and with talking about specific topics. So let's see how that goes. And once again, we want you to be involved, engage. So use the comment section if you have any questions. Feel free to ask us. So if you are watching live, then use the comment section. If you are watching the recording, still you are still welcome to ask questions even though the live session has already ended. Okay, so that's it for just some housekeeping preliminaries. Now let's go right to it. Okay, so for this week, we're going to talk about the title. You're seeing the presentation right now, Growth in the Era of Zero-Click Searches. You probably have noticed this, that search behavior or even the way we search is changing fast. So, for example, if you type something on Google, it's most of the time you will get direct answers. And then there will be AI summaries, there will be featured snippets and other platform native experiences. And then you don't even go to the website sometimes because there's already an answer, right? And that's also happening to your customers or to your target audience. When they type something, sometimes they don't even get to click on a website, they already have the answer that they want. So today we want to unpack what that means for brands and businesses. If traffic patterns and customer behaviors are shifting, what should you do about it? Okay, so how can you see growth opportunities? How can you adapt to this change in the digital landscape? Okay, so with that, I'm happy to introduce to you. We have for our sessions, we have invited guest speakers or our guests to talk about the topics that we have. And today we have a software engineer by trade who's been working in the digital marketing space for the last 13 years. So we have here the operations manager of Lojo Marketing. And Lojo Marketing is a full service growth partner that helps businesses build stronger brands, websites, and marketing systems now enhanced by AI powered all-in-one business software through GrowGenie 360, which is again a software. Okay, so without any further ado, I'd like to pass it on to Edwin Arenas. Woohoo, I'm going to be clapping for you, Edwin.
Hi, Diana. Thank you for that introduction. Today, and first of all, welcome to everyone who is watching. If you are a business owner and during this last year you have been noticing that the traffic to your website is going down, then you're not crazy, you're not alone, okay? It is happening to all of us, okay? And the reason why is because of this, the rise of zero-click searches. As Diana mentioned, basically during the last year or so, the behavior when you search for something has changed. So today we are going to discuss growth in the era of zero-click searches, how small businesses can survive the great decoupling, okay? So first of all, let's set some context of what is this of the zero-click searches and the great decoupling. Now, you are here and you are in the right place if any of these things is happening to your online presence, okay? So first of all, let's go to this first section, okay? So in this last year, search engines have a transformation. They went from search engines to, and they became AI answer engines, okay? So what is this? As Diana mentioned, you go online and then you type, for example, something like, oh, I want to know what is the best material for a driveway, okay? And instead of going down 10 different links, okay? Or for example, you are looking for a dad joke, okay? So you want a dad joke. And what it used to be that you went through 10 different links, okay? And then if you click on one of them, you will go to something like this. Number one, what is a dad? What is a joke? Okay, and after a bunch of text that basically told you the whole history of how jokes are made, what are jokes, why people tell jokes. Finally, at the end of all that content, you actually find what you wanted, which is a dad joke, okay? But now in this last year, there's the rise of these new features that basically when you say, hey, I want a dad joke, will show at the top of the search results a little snippet. And that little snippet actually tells you this is a dad joke. And according to these sources, this is why they are made and this is how they work, okay? So instead of you going down a list and then reading through a bunch of content that you are not really interested in to find the answer that you want, you get a direct answer directly by the search engine. So that is the transformation that the search engines had in these past few years, from search engines to from traditional search engines, the way they worked for 20 years now, to the new experience of AI answer engines, okay? And the result of that is that we have a 65% of the global searches now don't really drive traffic to any other external website. So these are called zero-click searches. These are searches that you type your question and you get an answer without having to visit any external resource outside of the search engine itself, okay? But that has consequences to small business owners, to website owners. And that is because when there is an AI overview present, okay, so basically this AI answer in the search results, then there's a drop of 55% in people clicking to external websites. Okay, so that is the situation that we are in. And the problem is that, number one, this thing is even more prevalent in mobile searches. So it goes from 65% to 77% when you are searching on mobile. And the people searching on mobile are actually the people more engaged and more likely to then take an action that you want. The reason why is because they are directly trying to search for something while they are on the move. And the second reason is that this thing is driving precisely what we call the great decoupling. And what is the great decoupling? That as searches are going up, so more people are searching more and more using different platforms, not just Google, more and more to get information. But as that goes up, the traffic to websites is actually going down. So it is the AI engines, the ChatGPT, the platform that you are using to search, the one that is keeping all the traffic. They are feeding off the content on the internet, providing the answer, but then they are driving less and less traffic to the other external websites. So that is the problem that we have right now. That is the situation that we are in, and this is not going to go away. AI search answer engines, they are here to stay. And the reason why is because they offer a better user experience, okay? Again, you are looking for that dad joke, you want to make a prank to your child, okay? And instead of reading the whole history of what is a dad, what is a joke, why they are funny, who tells them, you are getting the answer that you actually need at that juncture that you can tell it immediately. Okay, that is a better user experience. But that better user experience also offers an opportunity. And the opportunity is that as answers are easier to get, people also have more questions. Okay, so that's why we have this growing search volume. Now, as a business owner, for you, you might be thinking like, hey, great that it is easier for people to say to get answers, but that doesn't solve my problem, which is I depend on the traffic on my website to get clients, to get new leads, to get people interested on my product, on my brand, and they are not getting to my website now. So let's see a little bit how this works. It used to be that you went online. It used to be that you went online, okay? And when you go online, you actually have people looking for let's say three different buckets within a funnel, okay? You have the top of the funnel, and these people are only looking for answers, okay? At this moment, they are just asking themselves if there is a problem that they need, if there's some information that they don't know, okay? But we are going to see an example of this in a moment, okay? Then you have a second bucket. And this second bucket is the people that they already got that first information, they already have those first few answers, and now they are asking themselves, okay, if this is a problem, if this is something that I need, then what is in the market that can help me with this? Okay, this is the discovery phase. And then you have people that are already clear. I need a solution for this. I need a product for this. I need a service that can fulfill my need. And these are the people that are in the conversion phase. These are this is a much smaller group, but this is the people that you are actually interested in, because this is the people that is more ready to convert, to make a purchase, to schedule a call with you, to reach out to your and ask for a quote, okay? Now, when we have these three different publics that are online searching for things, a lot of them just for answers, some of them for different options in the market, and some of them directly for a product or service to buy, how all of this works. So let me give you an example. So let's assume, for example, that we are in the market for a driveway, okay? So the first thing, when we are in the answers phase, the first thing that we would ask is, we would go online and ask, okay, what is the best driveway surface, okay? And when you have this kind of things, you actually have a question in your mind. When you go online, even if you don't type it up as a question, in your mind you have a question that you want an answer for, okay? And in this case, this section at the top that says AI overview, this section at the top is actually your answer, okay? It is trying to provide, based on the links on the right, it is trying to provide a direct answer to your question, okay? So you don't have to go and read all of that text. You don't have to go and try to find all the info, but because it is already telling you, hey, I already went, I read the text, and according to these sources, this is the answer to your question, okay? This is the traffic that has dropped the most. So if your business was relying on traffic that was for just looking for answers, those blog posts, these are the best things to do on 2026. This is the comparison of different products and services. All those things That is the traffic that has dropped the most because it's the traffic that the AI overviews is basically taking over. These are pure zero-click searches, okay? Now, once you know that, hey, there's concrete, there's asphalt, there's gravel, okay? Now we know a bit about the surfaces. Now we want to know, okay, is there anyone that can actually help me with my driveway? So at that moment, we move from we want answers to we want to discover what is in the market. But then you see something like this. Driveway repair companies near Roseville, CA. But you see the difference in the results. These first results you see here at the top that it says sponsor results. And many people don't really notice, okay? But all of these links that look like just like any other organic result are actually paying to be there. And this is a full screenshot on a desktop. And you can see that all of the results that are visible are actually paid results. So that means that the person that made all that effort to be number one in the results is actually not even visible. Only the people that are willing to pay Google to show up in the results are actually showing up in these results because the intent is for people that actually want to know and learn about a business. You saw that in the previous one where we only wanted answers. What we saw at the top is the AI overview and people also ask. But when the intent of the person changes from I want answers to I want to discover what's in the market, immediately Google puts at the top the paid results. Notice that there is no AI overview here. Why do you think that is? Because for Google, their business is to sell these placements at the top of searches with high intent. So they are not going to damage their own business by putting an AI overview and keeping people from clicking to the paid ads. Okay. So we see these results. We scroll down on the same search, and this is what we see after the paid results. This is what we have in this same search just below the paid results. You see the places, and this one here that says Yelp, that is actually the number one search result. But again, statistics, it says this is your number one in the search results for driveway repair companies near Roseville, CA. But actually, as for the user experience, it was like number 9 or 10 because we went through multiple paid ads and then we went through multiple placed results. Okay, and this is really important. And the reason why is because even getting to number 1 will not get you that traffic. Why? Because you are number 1, but you are in the screen shown as number 9 or number 10, and people are not going to go that far. So if this is the situation that we are in, that number 1, for the answers, for people that want answers, the AI overview is going to tell the answer. For people that want to discover products and services, the paid results and the local results are going to get the traffic. Then what should we do? First, again, AI answer engines offer a better experience to the user, so they are here to stay. So we cannot rely on, oh, let's do what we used to do and let's hope that this is just a temporary fad or something like that, because it's not going to happen. So instead of that, we need to change our strategy in order to keep growing. How are we going to do that? First, let's see how can we still grow if we are trying to attract traffic that want answers, okay? For this particular section of the traffic, this is what we need to do. It used to be, let's just wait a second here. It used to be that we just added keywords, that is keyword density. So if you were trying to get traffic for different materials, different surfaces for driveways, then you would put multiple times on your page that this is the driveways and driveway surface, this is are the materials. That is keyword density. It also used to be that you just added content volume. You added as much possible content around the topic. And the overall goal is to be one of those 10 links in the search results, okay? But we just saw that the number one link, that Yelp page, was actually like number 10 in the page, okay? It was really down in the search results. So that will not work anymore. So what is it that you should be doing now? Number one, we need to make sure that machines can understand our content, okay? And the reason why is because if people are looking everywhere and if people are asking AIs to provide an answer, then you need to make sure that those AIs actually understand what your content, what your company, what your brand and product are about. For that, we use some specific code that is difficult to read for us, but really simple to understand and really structured for machines to understand. This is called schema code. And I'm going to show you later on how that actually works. How can we implement this, okay? But first item is we need to make sure that the AIs that are answering those questions actually understand the content and your brand, what you do, what you offer, what your product does, okay? And number two, we need to make sure that we have good topic depth and good EEAT. This is expertise, experience, authority, and trust, okay? So we should signal to both people and to the bots, the robots, the machines, that you are a person that has experience, that knows what you are talking about, expertise, that has authority, that what you are saying should be listening, should be paid attention to in this specific topic, and that you can be trusted, okay? We are also going to check in a few moments how we do this, okay? Now, let's see. Let's see here for a moment how a page, okay, that is optimized for generative engines is actually should be a structure, okay? Number one, at the top, we should have an opening content, an opening paragraph that answers in 40 to 60 words that question that is behind the keyword that we are targeting, okay? So just think of it like this. If instead of Google, you were asking a friend to get the same information that you are trying to get from Google, then what is the question that you would ask that friend, okay? Because in Google, we type best surface for driveway, okay? Then you need to ask your friend, okay, you would ask something like this. Hey, if I need to change my driveway, what do you recommend? What is the surface that I should use so that it has good durability, but also for a good price, okay? So probably that is what you would ask your expert friend if it were just a friend, a person, and not Google. So that is the answer that you are going to put in a single paragraph at the top, okay? Because that answer is what then the AIs are going to consume and are going to base their AI overview on, okay? After that, we need to show expertise. We need to show that you have authority. We need to show that you know what you are doing. And for that, the additional content should be heavy on statistics, on information, on, again, type of hard data that actually shows that to the AI that you know what you are doing, that you know what is happening, that you know what this topic is about, okay? And finally, in this page, we have a bit of code that is not visible to the person, to the visitor, but is visible to the AIs. And this bit of code, again, the schema, is there to show in a structured way what the content is about to the AIs, okay? So this is the structure that we are going to have for when we are targeting people looking for answers, okay? Again, I'm going to show you in a moment how we can do all of this using Growth Genie to help you speed things up, okay? Next, the next step in the funnel is people that are actually in the discovery phase, okay? So if you are in the discovery phase, this is what you should be doing. In the discovery phase, we are going to, again, these are people that have a higher intent. They have a more clear intention of actually getting something. They are still not making a decision, but they are already working towards, I want to understand what the market is offering for this. Okay, so what should we be doing for this? Number one, search everywhere. People are not just searching for information in Google. Now you go online, you go to TikTok and search for the best restaurants around. You go into Instagram and look for the latest trends in fashion. You go to YouTube and search for recipes. Okay, so people are searching everywhere, not just in Google. That means that your brand needs to be on multiple places. And the best content for that right now, because it's easy to produce, because it's much cheaper and easy to produce at scale, is actually short form video. Okay, so short form video in multiple platforms is a way for you to actually get to the discovery phase. If the traditional search engines are only pay to play right now, because we saw that once we change the intent from I want answers, what is the best surface, to what companies are actually offering this service in this location, immediately the search results went away and everything that was left standing and showing was the paid ads, okay? So given that, how do we do it? We make sure that when people look for the same things on other platforms, we are there, okay? So short video form in multiple locations, social media, YouTube, that is one of the ways that we can still get traffic, still get attention, even when people are at the discovery phase. The second part is to make sure that we are strong in local search. Just below, as we saw, just below the paid ads, what was there? was the results from places, the results from Google Business Profiles, the results from Google Maps, okay? If we are not strong with our Google Business Profile, then again, we are not getting the best results possible, okay? And for that, it is really important to have consistent NAP, name, address, and phone across multiple places. Again, we're going to show you how to do this in a really easy way using Gorgini in a moment. So what we have is that TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, all of those short video content are replacing traditional search, especially for younger people, okay? But there's one more, there's voice search. Younger people, they don't even type the questions. They just hit record and say, Google, tell me what this is, okay? So we need to be on multiple places. We need to be thinking about not just what people are typing into Google, but what the people are searching on different platforms and searching via voice. Okay, so let's see how local search actually works, what we should be doing there. Just give me a second.
Yeah, while Edwin is kind of like working on that aspect, just wanted to point it out that it's interesting, especially with how Edwin broke down what is happening now. So if you are joining now and you missed that, he broke down like doing search, and that's really interesting if you understand it that way, that depending on the user intent, Google is also changing the way it shows answers. So that's one of kind of like a key takeaway at this point. Think about user intent, because your potential customer and the people that you wanted to reach may be in the different stage of the customer journey. So who are you trying to reach? Where are they in the customer journey? And then you can find opportunities there. Yeah. So continue,
Yeah,
Edwin.
so that point that you highlight, that is really important. Google shows a different page depending on a different structure of its results depending on the user intent. Okay, if there is intent that you want to buy something, it has the AI overviews and shows the paid ads. If it identifies that the intent is just to get answer, it shows the AI overviews and then the organic results. Okay, so this is again important because you need to know that it is not a monolithic thing. It's not a one time fits all, but instead is depending on the intent of the client, the whole experience is different. Okay. Now, for local search, number one, the Google Business Profile controls 70% of your local visibility. And what that means is, as we saw in the screenshot from our search, the top results were actually results from Google Maps, okay? And how do you get into Google Maps? With your Google Business Profile, okay? So that means that if you don't have your Google Business Profile, if you are not optimizing your Google Business Profile, then you may have a great website with a lot of content, with great content, okay? But that content always comes after the search results for Google Business Profile, for Google Maps, for places in any search that has local intent, okay? So again, you could be Yelp, okay? Millions of backlinks, millions of pages, and still you come after the local places results in any search that has local search intent, okay? Now, there is one last part, which is what happens when people are actually trying to convert. These are the people that we want the most, because these are the people that are ready to have a conversation about, hey, I want this service, I need this product, I need you to provide a quote, I need to talk to an expert, I need someone that can help me with this problem. But these are the people also that everybody else is after. So what should we do here? Given that, again, these kind of searches, Google immediately identifies the intent and immediately changes the way it structures its results to show ads, to show places, and only after you will see an organic search result. So the best way to address this now is actually through conversational commerce. SMS, WhatsApp, chats, and when I say chat, I mean your website chat, your social media chat. All of those direct conversations have a much higher conversion, a much higher engagement than your checkout on a mobile website, okay? And the reason why is because the people are directly engaging. They are directly answering. We are in the moment that, number one, you go to Amazon and you expect the product to be delivered tomorrow, okay? If you go to Amazon and expect the product to be delivered tomorrow, then that person is not going to go into a website and expect an answer in 5 days, okay? Just to get an answer if you have this product or not, okay? So they expect the same experience, the same speed with all the interactions. And number two, besides conversational commerce, we also have retargeting, advertising directly to the people that already showed interest. The goal of all of this is to establish a direct line of communication with anyone that is interested. Okay, how do we do that? So let me show you the action plan for the next 90 days. Number one, refocus your metrics, okay? Instead of making sure that you are just paying attention to branded search volume, instead of paying attention to just how many visitors you have on your site, pay attention to actually how many conversions you have, how many leads you are getting, how many form submission, calls, okay? So we should go from search volume to, are people looking for my brand? Because those are people that already know me and are more interested. Instead of just searching for, am I getting clicks? We instead ask ourselves, am I getting clicks of the right type? And what is the right type? That people that have some kind of intent, okay? And also, what are the organic conversions that I'm getting? Number two, implement a strict schema.org markup. Make sure that you are 100% consistent with name, address, and phone across all different locations that mention your business, and adapt your content to follow the 40 to 60 word rule to answer the question that is behind the keyword that you are targeting with each piece of content at the top. Number three, activate direct channels of communication, SMS, chat, WhatsApp, with automation to assure that you have instant replies, okay? If people can get the product in 1 day, they are not waiting 5 days for you to answer a message, okay? And number 4, schedule your Growth Genie 360 demo to speed implementation and make it sustainable. So I'm going to show you here in a moment. I'm going to show you how we implement all of these items using a Growth Genie as our helper. So let's start, for example, with implementing a schema.org code. Okay, again, this is to make sure that bots and AIs actually understand in a clear and direct way what your content and your brand is about. So we have here, this is the Growth Genie website builder. And for example, we have the page for Lojo Marketing. But what we can do is that we go here into the settings and we add schema. And you can see that it is really simple, because what you do is that you just select what is the type of schema that you want to add, what is the type of element that you want to signal to AIs and bots. And then with that, you just fill a form, a simple form. This is a local business, for example. And we just start typing, hey, so this is Lojo Marketing. And then a description. Lojo Marketing is an digital marketing agency. Okay, just as an example, you can see here that it actually has a bunch of content, okay, that you can add. But here's the thing, even though you put all of this description here, when we go here and it says JSON view, you will see that it turns what we typed into a bit of code that is very, very clear for machines what this page is about. So instead of the machines going through all the content and trying to decipher what you are saying, what you want to, and what your business is about, we are directly saying, hey, this is a local business. It is called Lojo Marketing. This is what this business is about. And we can continue and add, what is the product? What is the service? What is the price? Do we have a service area? What is the zip codes for that service area? So it is very clear for a machine to understand your business when you have it in a schema markup. So being consistent with having all your product pages, your business page with schema markup will make it much easier for the AIs to understand and know your brand. Okay, so that was for step number 1, to gather information that for people that want to get answers. If you remember, that was one of the things that we needed to implement, add a schema markup to our sites. But we also had another thing that we needed to do, and that is we needed to make sure that we optimize the Google Business Profile and any other directories. Okay, so we also do that using Growth Genie to help us do it faster and in a more consistent way. If we need to implement NAP, consistent name, address, and phone number across multiple online presence, we do it here. We have a module called Reputation. We go to GBP, Google Business Profile, Optimization, and this is what we have. A place where we can edit all our Google Business Profile directly, also connected to make sure that the reviews that we get are answered automatically. But even beyond that, we can go into settings, then go into integrations, and here we have a bunch of directories that are industry specific, okay? Like for example, let's say you have a hotel. Okay, then booking.com is the one for you. Or let's say that you are your business is actually an app, a mobile app. Then the integration to Apple App Store is the one for you. Or you are offering short-term rentals, then Airbnb is the one that you need to integrate with. Okay, so that means that no matter the industry that where you are, there are plenty of different integrations for you to, number one, make sure that you keep consistent name, address, and phone number, and also that you can keep replying to any reviews in a consistent way and in an automatic way. Okay, that will help you with the local searches, because as we saw, it is the local searches, the one that show at the top, even above any or other organic results. But then we also have another thing that we needed to do, and that is for the conversion phase, we needed to implement a conversational commerce. That is to establish a direct line of communication with potential leads. And for that, we can use multiple different functionalities that Growth Genie gives us. One is add a chat widget to our website so that the current audience, which is used to getting information immediately, used to getting the answer directly from the AI, avoid that they have to look and start browsing through your site through multiple pages just to get an idea of what you are offering. Instead, just ask the chatbot, and the chatbot will, as the AI overviews, provide the answer immediately. Okay, so it is bringing the ease of use of the AI overviews in Google into your own website. Okay, number two, you could also add automatic SMS message or even a WhatsApp messaging, again, to establish that line of communication. So we have three things that we need to do. Number one, make sure that all our content is clear for the AIs to understand with a schema.org tagging, and that is easy to do in the Growth Genie 360 website builder. Number two, we need to make sure that we have consistent and strong local presence for local searches in our Google Business Profile and in any directory that is relevant for our industry. And again, our reputation module in Growth Genie 360 helps us do that at a scale in an easier and faster way. And number three, we need to make sure that once we have a lead that is in the conversion phase, we can actually set up a conversation with them, and the chat widgets for our websites, the SMS automation, and WhatsApp automation also allows us to do that. By the way, this chat functionality is across multiple softwares, okay? So it's also for your Messenger messages, for your Instagram DMs, for your TikTok messages. So all of that to make sure that we establish that direct line of communication with our leads. So if you want to start this path, this 90-day path, make sure to schedule your demo for Group Diana.
Yeah, I just wait, still posting. But if you're interested with what Edwin has talked about booking a demo and see how can you actually optimize these kinds of things with a powerful tool, which is Growth Genie 360, you can click the link in the Facebook Live video. Okay, that says Growth Genie 360 demo booking. I already put that as a comment over there. Okay, can I pin this? No, I cannot pin that specific comment. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Edwin, for that very helpful presentation. I'm sure there's a lot of ideas now that are going on in the head of our viewers. Wait, okay, sorry. If you are still with us, feel free to drop your questions. If you are catching this the recording of this live session, again, we still encourage you to write your questions. But I do have a few questions for Edwin, so to continue to expound on this conversation. Okay. My first question is, you talked about, we should be where our customers are. It's not enough anymore for us to just simply optimize, the industry term optimize, to optimize for Google with the changing user behavior online. But for small businesses with small teams, it may sound overwhelming to try to be everywhere. So any starting point?
Okay, so yes, it can be overwhelming to try to be everywhere, and it's not, although it's called search everywhere, it's because people are searching everywhere, but you need to first try to understand where your particular audience is, okay? Because yes, it is search everywhere, but if you are, let's say, for example, you are developing a mobile game, okay? Then Twitch is your place, okay? But if you are not a person that is in has any type of involvement, then it doesn't make sense to be there. If you are, for example, in fashion, then maybe Pinterest is your place to be. But if you are, I don't know, maybe you are a driveway construction company, maybe Pinterest is not your place to be. So you need to understand, given my audience, given my product, where is it that I should be present, okay? That's why, for example, I showed that there are all these specialized directories, because again, if you are a hotel, you need to be on booking, okay? But if you have a very different, if you are a restaurant, maybe not. Maybe there's a different option for you. So the first question would be, okay, which one is the traffic source that I'm going to target first? Do a test, start, be consistent, and then and only then start trying other things.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And we go back to the point of knowing your audience. So
That's
you have
correct.
probably heard the term search everywhere optimization. So don't jump into that mistake that, oh no, I should, because it's just gonna stretch you too thin. If you want to appear everywhere, but it's not relevant to your business. So yeah, going back, you should really know your audience, where they are, what are they consuming, and then just focus on that specific platform. So that's a good one, Edwin. And another item, which is Google Business Profile. You talked about opportunity in Google Maps, but what about any thoughts for businesses that don't have physical address? Because we know that some businesses right now are doing things online. So what if they don't have a physical address? Is there something that they can like any thoughts on that one?
Okay, so there are some businesses, and Google Business allows for that, which is I don't have a physical address, but I don't want to show it because I am a service-based address, I am business. Okay, so for example, I am a plumber. Okay, I do have an address, but of course, the service that I offer is not in my address. I need to go to your place. Okay, so there is number one, there is an exception in Google Business to account for those type of businesses. So if you are a plumber, you are a construction company, you are maybe you are a hairdresser that goes to your client, anything like that, you can still have a Google Business profile. Okay. But let's say that you are a purely online e-commerce, for example. Okay. You can maybe use your location, just your office, as an address for the business profile, and then still optimize your business profile. Okay, so it is still possible, but you just need to be aware of two things. Number one, that you do need to go through a verification with your Google Business profile, and that usually involves showing your address, showing that the business exists. And number two, for the particular businesses that are service-based areas, area service-based, okay, then for those, usually you also have to provide additional documentation because usually those businesses mean you will go inside people's places. And that is more, let's say, more delicate, okay? That is more, that is verified with more fine tooth than uh, than a regular business, okay? Because if you have a shop and you just need to show that your shop exists, but if you are advertising so that you will go then into someone else's place, then that is actually a bit more important for you to verify that your business is actually a legit business.
Okay, another one. Uh, Given these changes, where do you see the biggest opportunity for those businesses that are willing to adapt early? We know this might sound a lot of work trying to understand the trends, but what opportunities are there to doing this, what we're talking about right now?
I think that the two biggest opportunities right now for a business that wants to adapt early is number one, to put a big effort on optimizing your Google business profile. And the reason why is that we saw that immediately after the paid results, the one that goes after is the Google business profile. Okay, the Google business and the local places results, and that for searches that actually have buying intent, that have that are in the discovery and conversion phase. Okay, so that is relevant, high intent traffic that you can get if you have a good, strong Google business profile. So that would be number one. And number two is to implement conversational commerce. Again, the reason is even if you are paying for ads, you paid for the lead, and then if you let the lead, the moment that that lead clicked on your ad, the platform immediately knows that that person is interested in, let's say, a driveway repair, okay? So it will immediately try to show as many ads as it can about that because this person has a high probability of clicking on those ads and they collecting on the money, okay? That means that if you just paid for that lead, but you don't engage with them almost immediately, you are very likely to lose that lead and lose that money. Okay, so conversation, making sure that whenever the person reaches out and shows an intent that, hey, I'm interested in your product or service, that there's something there to start the conversation and keep them engaged, that is really important.
Yeah, and that's why it helps to have some automation set up, especially if you are very busy with the operation side of your business, which Coachini 360 can help you with as a platform or as a software. I think this will be the last question. Now that we understand, we should not be worried about fewer or less traffic because it is what it is. It's really the reality now that
Yeah.
so if you see that, if you are monitoring your metrics and then you see that, oh no, what's happening? Why are people not visiting? That's kind of like a reality now. So can you just re-emphasize? You already mentioned this in your talk earlier, but just to re-emphasize, what are the metrics that are more important now than traffic?
The metrics that are more important now is branded searches because it means people that already know that your business exists and that are trying to reach you. Okay. Number two, actual organic conversions. It doesn't matter if you get less traffic if you are getting the same calls, the same number of calls, the same number of form submissions, because at the end, it is the people that are ready to convert. Those are the ones that you want. And number three is to make sure that you are, what is the closure rate, that you are actually keeping up with the people, that you are actually establishing a communication with the people that actually reach out.
Thank you so much, Edwin. And I will just repeat the action plans to close this out that Edwin shared with us. That one, refocus your metrics. Edwin just explained it to us again. So refocus your metrics. Number two, implementation of strict schema.org markup and a 100% NAP, name, address. What's the P?
Phone.
Phone. There we go. Name, address, and phone, and the 4060 rule in your content. Okay, and then the direct communication. It's really important now that the direct communication channels are activated in your website. So that's the third one. And then the fourth one, if you see now the value of having a software, a system that can assist you with these changes, you can book a demo with GrowGenie 360, and the link is already shared in the comments. But I'm not sure if the link is clickable if it's a comment in the live. But anyway, because I'm looking at the mobile phone right now. I'm not sure if it's clickable. Okay, so thank you so much, Edwin, for joining us today. And folks, Edwin will be back in the future sometime later to continue sharing with us his knowledge about the different trends or whatever specific topic with regards to marketing, digital marketing is. But for the next session, we still have another session for the month of March. That will be the fourth week, March 25th. That's also Wednesday, same time, 10:45 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to the topic there will be trust-centered messaging. So consumers now are becoming more and more smart. Not only AI is becoming smart, but even consumers, and they are becoming more skeptical of over-polished claims, sometimes even heavy automation. Some people are getting off when it's really feels like a bot talking to them, and even too good to be true offers. So that session in March 25th, we will explore how businesses can respond with clear communication, process breakdowns, and setting honest expectations that actually build trust. So that's another thing that's important in the landscape right now, to build trust with your potential customers so that when they think of, buying or making that decision, they think of you. All right, folks, thank you so much to our live viewers and also to those who will be later catching up on this live session. Thank you, and we'll see you again March 25th for our next community live here in our Facebook group. And with that, I'm
Thank you,
going to,
Diana.
yeah, thank you, Edwin. I'm going to stop the live stream. Hang on. Where do you stop that one? Okay, let me check live stream. Bye, guys. Just stopping the live stream now. 3, 2, 1.